In this upcoming video, we're gonna make healthy doggy trail mix. Perfect for dog training or just for munching, so stay tuned. Again, we're gonna have a rainbow of colors in this doggy trail mix, and we're going to start with a pear. Now, my tool of choice is this nice little cutter here, because I can just push it right down here. A little push, sometimes a little bigger push than I expected, and then you can see. And it just makes it have more reasonable pieces. With this fruit, dogs can eat the skin as long as it's small enough not for a choking hazard. So we're going to dehydrate these. So I'm going to take that chunk and I'm going to go ahead and take that and cut it in half again. And if there's any core stuck around the pear, you want to cut that out. So you want to make sure that the dog's not getting any core. Even though these look a little thick, they will shrink up quite a bit because pears are packed full of moisture and the dehydrator is going to take that moisture out. So this one's a little bigger, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that one into thirds. And the snorting again is my snorting monkey. He's going crazy. So I've been working at creating recipes for over a week. I tend to take a big chunk of time and create a lot of things. So he's just beside himself because there's just so much cooking going on. So I'm going to take these slices, I'm going to put them on the dehydrator sheet. They can touch, I just don't really want them overlapping. So we'll fill that tray. Next we have one apple, and as always everything's organic, and same thing, same tool. I think it's actually technically an apple core. The monkey down here, Dexter, loves his apples. He loves his pears too. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to those pears. I'm going to set one of the slices aside. I'll set a little slice of the apple aside too, and we'll give it to him later. So I'm going to cut these again in halves or thirds, depending on how thick they are. And if you feel uncomfortable about skins, remove them. Go ahead and remove them. They are packed full of nutrients that are safe for dogs. Again, it's just a matter of not choking on them. And once these are dehydrated, they are easy to break up. So I'm not even concerned if they're too big, because I'll be breaking them up for treats anyway. Again, we're going to load the dehydrator tray with these. So the next is going to really be a trial and error type thing for me today. So with all these recipes I've been creating, I've had extra leftover stuff. And so instead of just, throwing it away, I wanted to see what we can do with it. So I have 2 ounces of chopped purple kale. I think it might technically be called red, but it looks purple to me. I have my shield on top of this, because some of these ingredients are going to be actually pretty fine. So from that other recipe, I already have these chopped up pretty thin, so they weren't chopped for this. So if I were to chop them, I don't know, because I don't know how it's going to turn out. So I'm just going to dump that on the tray. These will overlap a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and let them do that, just not terribly. The other I have is we did Brussels sprouts, so this is what I had left over. It's only about 1/2 ounce of Brussels sprouts. I just picked through and tried to find the leaves and any kind of big chunks. If it works, I'm going to anticipate the leaves are going to be the best thing to dehydrate. So we'll see. So I'm just going to put that next to them. And the same thing, I have broccoli. So I have bits like this and then part of the stalk. They're cut really small because in the other recipe I blended everything up, so they may just disappear to nothing, so we will see. So we'll put those there. I had 3 ounces of red bell pepper left over, and I've used peppers before for Dexter, and I know that these disappear to nothing. So a decent sized chunk is what we're doing. 3 ounces of yellow pepper, and then 3 ounces of green pepper. When I'm creating things for Dexter, especially when I'm doing his extras and his treats and his yappy hour fillers and snacks, I do make sure I'm using things that are going to benefit his nutritional needs. But I had 1.5 pounds of pork tongue. I cut it into these tiny little bits because I did do a little test run with these because I wasn't sure, because they were really tough. So I wasn't sure how they were going to dehydrate. And they dehydrate well. They do get really hard. So you want to make sure that they're right off the bat going to be in those bite-sized bits so that they're small enough for your dog, because I see you. Because once they're dehydrated, you're not going to be able to break them up. So, nice and teeny tiny. And we're just going to spread it across here. Alright, so that filled the tray pretty nicely. They're pretty packed in there. So next I have 5 fresh, as you can see, quite large sardines. These actually came from one of Dexter's raw food suppliers. So they are nice and big. So I'm going to go ahead and chop these up. If you get the kind that come out of the can, one of the things that you'll want to pay close attention to is where those fish came from. You want to make sure the fish came from a decent water source. And if that's the case, you can just plop them on their hole because they're tiny. Eating these bones raw are safe because it's not, they're not that big. Eating them dehydrated, they're going to dry them out a little bit. But I think they're still small enough because we don't want to give our dogs cooked bones. We want to be really careful about the bones that we give our dog and how hard they are. So I'll have to check that out. I might go ahead and cut this in a couple more strips. So I might go ahead and cut his body in half again and put it in there. So let's put him in the dehydrator and see what happens. So I did let the dehydrator run for 29 hours. I wanted to make sure everything got really nice and crispy, which included our dehydrated sardines. And I think they're going to be a hit with Dexter. Let's see. Hear that snap? That's what I was looking for. We can see here's our cabbage. And it has a nice crisp crunch too. Like I said at the beginning, these were pieces from an earlier recipe. So I think if I do this again, I'm definitely going to go ahead and use cabbage, but I'll make it in bigger, long strips. The same thing for our Brussels sprouts, nice crisp. And our broccoli, now the florets are actually perfect size, but here's our stalks. Look at those. They're so teeny tiny. I mean, they're perfect bite size for reward, so that's not bad, but some of them are really tiny. So let's put all these together and let's make our trail mix. So there you have it. There's our healthy doggy trail mix that Dexter's over here going, I need a taste test. Should we do it? I have to do the taste test with the fish head. I just have to. Dexter's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. Maybe I should put a snoot on. So if we're going to use it for training treats, we can break that up even more. So you can break those heads up a little more. Or you can keep them in your pouch if you're using a training bag, or in your bowl and use them as a nice jackpot for a good behavior, or just a yummy snack. Alright, so we'll give him a few more. And if you think your dog would enjoy these snacks, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon, and you'll be notified every time we release a new video. In the meantime, remember to pause and enjoy life, and we'll see you in the next video. Is that good? Is that good? I think we're all done. All done for now. Bye-bye.